Next, timelessness. What do we mean by timelessness? We mean that regardless of which phone you're using, you could be using phones like this, the oldest Nokia phone that's available, phones of today, or even Windows Phone 7 of tomorrow. Our system will work effectively as well. And not only that, we also took into consideration the growth of infrastructure around these regions. With 3G technologies, the possibilities are limitless. First up, what you're looking at into how can we allow local communication, where a teacher can push out questions to people within her community. They get a more personalized response. Next, we're also looking into how can we allow text-to-speech in instances where teachers want to learn how to pronounce something and teach the students the same thing. So the SMS to us, we give them a voicemail to say the same thing. And as our database actually grows with schools all over the world, we want to bridge the schools together, where schools in Poland could work with schools in Ghana in terms of providing resources or support. And with 3G technologies, infrastructure growing, we can also expand to other subjects, such as math, science, sending videos of these lessons or diagrams. It is limitless. And so we brought this whole solution, this whole presentation, and we showed it to Professor John Trexler. And we want to tell him what is it that we are doing. So we told him that we designed a solution. There's a mobile-centric solution that could bring teachers together, where they could share their problems, learn from the international community, and go and teach students. And this is what he had to say about our solution. He said our solution had the possibility to contribute enormously towards the successful achievement of universal primary education. And we hope that with our solution, we can achieve universal primary education not only quantitatively, but also qualitatively. We're Team Mama Bear. Thank you.
Lovely, excellent presentation, very nice. Nice to see good things coming from a tall person. Where have we seen that before?
Thank you.
Okay, a question for you though. The teachers are the people asking the questions. Can you see a scenario where the children might start asking questions as well? Would that be a good thing or a bad thing?
Okay, so it is a good thing actually. And we've actually taken that into consideration. And we also design our systems, it's so versatile that we can actually port it into a student scenario. But the thing is, when the student starts asking questions, it might also cause some other issues, such as how do we know that the person on the other side providing responses do not take advantage of this situation, where they have access to children. So we are in the midst of actually looking out and finding how can we actually prevent this and properly verify anyone. So yeah, it is portable, but we are also looking into it, but it's not here yet, but it will be there tomorrow.
Thank you. Good answer.
To add on to the student, when we expand this and somehow, like, because Professor John Trexler, he actually tells us that we can actually have this maintained by a British council who they are very good at English. I mean, they are correcting people English. So when students get on board, they can actually provide the support to maintain this system for free.
So you've built a solution on SMS for wide availability in sub-Saharan Africa. Can you talk for a moment about the affordability to teachers of sending SMS? Okay. What's it cost?
Okay, so we found that the cost of SMS is 4 cents in most regions in sub-Saharan Africa. But we were looking at how can we actually make it free of charge. So that's why we identified infrastructure. So we built our system around infrastructures that are already available, so that investors know that they can go in with the infrastructure that they have, no cost down, get an access to a large market, and we also have plans for exit strategy, where these companies then, in a year or so, they choose to leave, it's okay, because our system can still continue to sustain itself and still put it free of charge. So yes, we have taken that into consideration.
Awesome.
Thank you for the presentation. Just now you showed a map with some African countries being highlighted, right? And you also mentioned later on that Bharti Airtel,
yes.
Yeah, is your potential investor?
Yes.
Okay, you said it's one of the 5 largest telcos in the world. So does this telco have operations in these countries? I'm assuming that the countries you highlighted are the markets you want to target first.
Correct. Okay. Bharti Airtel has got a very large. Zain Telco was one of the largest telcos in sub-Saharan Africa, so they have a presence in the areas that we want to work in. And Bharti Airtel actually bought over them. So now they also have that access to the market, and they're also looking into how can they expand it so that it reaches out to the rural market also. So there is a market available there, and that market is growing. So yes.
Thank you.
Hi, good job. My question has to do with the getting the best answer. I think you said it in your presentation, like someone makes a question or inquiry and it goes into your box, right?
Yes.
And then you filled everything and you return with the best. Describe that. What's in the box? You need to go a little bit more into that box and tell us about that.
All right. We are actually doing tokenization. We can show you the slide. How are we going to retrieve the answer? We are actually, when someone asks a question, like above, we actually identify the keywords, we extract the keywords, and we look for similar question being asked before. So we match the keywords, and we look for the best ranking answer. Of course, we know that this might not be the best answer, because if we are sending them the wrong information, we are actually de-educating them. But that's why we are doing this with a community of teachers. So this teacher can actually rank the answer. With the best answer that we have, it will be the quality answer for the teachers in Sub-Saharan region.
Okay, and to add on, like he said earlier, about British Council, because British Council is actually looking into systems just like this, where they can actually educate people in English. So there is another way where we can allow British Council to manage that, to maintain the whole system. And we're also looking into various other ways we can make the box, actually, to hold, how do we design the container? We're also looking into using unstructured search engines. So it becomes a search engine on your mobile phone in Sub-Saharan Africa, where this box contains articles from Wikipedia, from Ask, from Encarta. So yes, the box is currently quite limited, but we're also looking into and talking to various search engine companies in Singapore itself, two of the largest that we have, and like Red Nano and National Library Board. And they also have told us many other ways that we can actually optimize the box by using unstructured search engines.
Well, great mission. I think any solution which improves education in any sense is already a success, so congratulations.
Thank you.
And my question is in relation to your, actually to my colleague question. If we can solve the problem by allowing the freestyle question, because it is unpredictable question. We cannot say whether the question is in the database. We don't know whether we have a right answer for the right context in the semantic meaning. We understand a lot of intractable problems in this area. So what is the level of trust in this? How can I trust the answer which I receive in return from your system, T-Cube, that is actually viable, that is trustable?
Okay, so regarding the reliability of this issue of the system, first up, regarding do we have that question in our database? We also have this other channel where as long as we do not have the question, it goes online. So now we bring it into the community. Now the community can discuss, and this community is made up with teachers only. So, and we believe that teachers are this unique community that they want to train, want to help each other out.
Okay.
And then we allow this community to go ahead and rank each answer. So now teachers would find, let's say, how do I describe disappointed in English? It means not happy. Okay, I do not find that interesting. I do not find that sufficiently useful. I can rank it down. Or I can rank something more better, so as to say, and rank it up. So now we get a community effort in trying to moderate the content. So the trustworthiness can be there. And also another issue is that, okay, it is community, but also we can look into British Council that has one backing. So we have identified 3 different types of areas that you can work in, namely the users, the investors, and the people who maintain the system to ensure its trustworthiness. So yeah.
I want to relate my question to your initial challenges and goals with what you're delivering. I see a tie between books that there's no books, there's no materials available, to the NGO support. So I think you addressed that. The support was one of the areas where I see there's support with the SMS texting. A couple of the different topics that you identified early on were qualification of teachers and the skills and the ability out in the field. How are you addressing that in your solution? I haven't seen anything that actually addresses how you're going to improve the quality of teachers.
Okay. How?
We are actually, because we are trying to come up with a training program where we can use SMS to provide a certificate to train teacher. But we actually found out that there might be issue in doing this, so we are looking into it.
Yeah. We are actually talking to Professor Trexler because he's the only individual right now in this world to have the title of Professor in Mobile Learning. So he's worked in the field for 20 years, and he told us that he has conducted trials in terms of trying to certify teachers via SMS. But one of the major challenges that he has faced is the authentication, or making sure that that teacher actually goes ahead and SMSs the answer and not someone else. So we are in the midst of actually looking out and finding how do we ensure this authentication, but at the same time, we do not want to sit down here and wait for that answer to come about. So we want to bring this system out, and the community can use it first. And then once it proves, and then we find that, okay, we know how to authenticate it, we put it online, and we bring the system out, we deploy it. So there will be an instance where we will have certification and qualification being provided to teachers via SMS. Yeah.
Regarding the authentication, we actually discussed and we believe that this can be done when we get telcos in, because when they registered their SMS service, we know that they are the teacher who are using this.
So yeah.
Very good, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep. One quick question related to the goal you're trying to solve. You mentioned that 53% of primary school children drop out, right? I don't see how improving the quality of teachers solve that dropout problem.
Okay. Can we move into the research? Yeah.
Going to
Okay. Regarding that, it's not us who actually saying that. We did research and we found out that there's a very close relation where a teacher, if she is properly qualified, provided the adequate materials in order to provide these children with education, it's going to make a difference. We see we are luxurious right now. We have this access to teachers who are properly qualified, gone through training in order providing us support. So yes, we believe that making sure that teachers are on par everywhere around the world, education is going to move one level higher.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Good stuff.
Team Mama Bear, come on, give it up for them. Where did you get that name, guys?